Nobody has more respect for women than I do. Nobody.
And I love the women. I cherish women. I respect women.
Millennial women from every corner of the world whose lives will be affected by Trump's presidency might say otherwise. His executive orders and support of the GOP's anti-abortion agenda reverberate far past U.S. borders. Here's a look at how a Trump presidency might affect a 22-year-old woman in different parts of the world. Let's say she recently graduated college and lives in Jackson, Mississippi. If she's worried she has HPV and doesn't have health insurance, she'd have to drive an hour and a half to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, the only city in her state with a Planned Parenthood facility. If Planned Parenthood is defunded, that single office could close, making birth control, STD tests, cancer screenings, and abortions less accessible and potentially less affordable. The gender wage gap, which he is unlikely to address, will intensify her financial burden, making quality healthcare that much more challenging to afford. If she were in Venezuela, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's call for a negotiated transition to democratic rule in her country could cause significant unrest. If democratization efforts fail, crime rates in Venezuela, already ranked one of the world's deadliest countries, could skyrocket. Let's say that she's originally from Guatemala, but illegally crossed the border into the United States when she was a young child. She used to be protected under Obama's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Now, Immigration and Customs Enforcement has already begun arresting those formerly protected by the act. And if she's a citizen, but her parents aren't, they could be deported, forcing her and her parents to live separate lives. If she lived in Namibia and visited her local health clinic headed by the Namibia Planned Parenthood Association, Donald Trump's global gag order would prevent her practitioner from even discussing the option of abortion. A year or two down the line, Napa may have to shut its doors due to massive cuts in funding. Were she in Bangladesh, she could be one of the over 37,000 residents who die of air pollution-related complications each year. Donald J. Trump collections produce clothing in Bangladeshi factories, contributing to that pollution. And if the regulations for the Executive in Need of Scrutiny Act is passed, no government agency can pass new environmental regulations unless the costs to America can be offset, which is very difficult. Should she be in Yemen, her friends or family members could have been one of at least 10,000 people who have died in the civil war, which began in 2015. 2.4 million Yemenis have been forcibly displaced as of 2016. Yemen is one of the 6 countries singled out under Trump's executive order restrictions. Under those guidelines, the U.S. refugee admissions program would be halted for 120 days, and the total number of refugees would be half of what Obama recommended for 2017. As rates of sexual violence rise, an extra few months in limbo could be life-threatening.